Welcome to the January edition of Highlights. It is 2023. Whoa. And we celebrate the new year, and we will bring new energy, activities, and programs to Littleton's Department of Elder and Human Services and the Council on Aging.
And in 2023, the most exciting event will be the groundbreaking for our new center on Shattuck Street. Early summer. If you're looking to see the newest designs and floor plans for that new building, they can be found on the website, which is littletoncenteronshattuck.com, all one big long thing. And definitely it should be an exciting year for us.
Oh, it's going to be a really exciting year. And if you go in and look at the designs, you really get even more excited.
Right.
Because you can see what's going to be there. It's really cool. So first, let's get through the winter. And some of Littleton's citizens may need some help doing that. So if you need help with heating or energy bills, you can call the outreach coordinators, Amy or Alicia, at 978-540-2470, and there are assistance programs that you may be eligible for. Also available is the Littleton Rental Assistance Program. This is available to income-eligible households renting qualified housing units, providing you would get $250 a month for a year with the ability to apply for up to 3 years. So if you get the $250 for a year and you still need help, you can go into a second and into a third year.
Right.
And so you want to call the Elder and Human Services office for more information or access the application at the Elder and Human Services page on the littletonma.org.
And that's a good program if you need the help.
And we do have a lot of people that are using it.
Right.
And it gives them time to go out and look for a job or figure out where they're going to get their income from.
Just a break and yeah. Anyway, 2 local programs are available to senior citizens that are especially important in the winter. One is Sand for Seniors, and this program is available to Littleton senior residents who live in their own home and are unable to physically get ice melt products, or they can't afford them. If you call the EHS office, they will help you determine your eligibility for that program. And then the other program that's important for the winter, it's important all year, but anyway, is free smoke and carbon monoxide detectors. The Littleton Fire Department will inspect, if you have one now, they will inspect it, and they will also install new detectors if you don't have one or if you need one replaced.
And that's all free?
Yes, it's definitely free. So call the Littleton Fire Department at 978-540-2302 to set up an appointment for that.
Mm-hmm. Not specifically for winter, but at the start of a new year, the outreach coordinators at the Littleton Department of Elder and Human Services, Amy and Alicia, would like us to remind you of the several programs offered by the department and their partners. Several of these involve caregivers. A caregiver is any family member, partner, neighbor, or friend who has a significant relationship with or provides assistance for the older individual or an adult with health issues.
And that's a very broad definition of caregiver. It doesn't have to be somebody even living in the home with the person. So the definition of caregiver has broadened a little bit in order to get some services.
Oh, that's really good.
Yeah, it is good.
That's new.
Yes, that most of these programs that we're about to talk about are from Minuteman Senior Services, and they are promoting that we let everybody know that the definition of caregiver is
Broad.
a little bit broader than it used to be.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
So the Massachusetts Family Caregiver Support Program at Minuteman Senior Services provides support, education, strategies, tips, and resources to those caring for older adults, people with disabilities, and grandparents raising grandchildren.
Right.
Now, that's a big deal. There's a lot of grandparents today that are raising their grandchildren.
Exactly.
Because the parents having to work or whatever the scenario, grandparents are taking a bigger step now than
Absolutely.
they did before. And for referral to the Caregiver Support Program, call Minuteman Senior Services at 888-222-6171.
And another thing about calling Minuteman, their slogan is know us before you need us. So their idea is if you have anything that you think you might need help with or you have questions about, not just in the caregiver support program, but anything dealing with any seniors or disabled adults, give them a call. They've got lots of resources. So that's
Good to know.
a little bit off the topic there, but that's okay. And there are several caregiver support groups offering a great way to connect and share experiences with people in similar circumstances. So they provide emotional support, a safe place to discuss any stress, challenges, and rewards of providing care, as well as a source of useful information. 2 of these caregiver support groups are offered by the Minuteman Senior Services, and they are virtual programs. So you don't have to go out to a program. I think I've forgotten if both of them are during the day, but one's during the day and one's early evening, I think. Anyway, check your broadcaster or call 978-540-2470 for specific information on those 2 programs. And then Littleton has a caregiver support group, and that will be meeting in January the 25th at 6 p.m. in the Senior Diner. And the hosts for that one will be Bridges, and a dinner will be provided. Call Amy and either email Amy at admichelle@littletonma.org or call 978-540-2470 to register.
Taking care of yourself as the caregiver is also important. By taking care of your own health and well-being, you become a better caregiver. Powerful Tools for Caregivers is a 6-week course designed to build the skills caregivers need to take better care of themselves while caring for an adult living at home. The next course will begin in early 2023. And for more information, contact Mary Ann DeBlasi at 781-221-7095 or MD DeBlasi at minutemanSenior.org. That's a mouthful.
That was a mouthful. Again, that's another Minuteman Senior program. So if you call, if you think you're a caregiver, if you think you have that kind of relationship with somebody, call them. They have lots of resources to be able to help you.
Mm-hmm.
So in January, there seems to be several activities that involve food.
Always is.
Always is. A new offering by EHS and COA is the Romeo Club. And Romeo means retired old men eating out.
Now, I read this, and I'm okay with this, but we have to find one for retired old women
Ladies
eating out as well.
That's true. But this new program that they're trying to get started, the EHS van will take this newly formed Romeo group to a different diner for breakfast. And it will leave the town hall at 8:30 a.m. And the first one is at Paul's Diner in Westford, and that will be on Friday, January 13th. And then there's another one planned for Rosie's Diner in Chelmsford, and that will be on January 27th. So there's two in January. And you call to register 978-844-6809. Oh, good, I read it right. To reserve your spot on the van.
And that's the actual van.
That's the van.
You have to go through them.
You have to call through the van, correct.
So another new program is Restaurant Hoppers Lunch at a local restaurant. The first spot will be at the Atlantic Sea Grill in Acton on Tuesday, January 31st at 1 p.m. Meet at the Town Hall at 12:30 for the van service. Register on Friday, January 20th in order to reserve your table. And attendees will be responsible for their own meal. And I think that must mean they have to pay for their own meal.
Yes, pay for their own meal.
Okay.
But van service would be provided if you needed van.
Right.
And I think you can also go and
Go on your own.
on your own.
Right.
But you need to call so they know how many people are coming. And then there's the monthly Lunch and Learn program in January, and the topic for that is going to be reverse mortgages. On Wednesday, January 18th at 12 o'clock noon in room 230, David Turtelot of Homestead Mortgage will discuss ways to use a reverse mortgage to supplement your income or to cover costs of home ownership. Lunch will be provided and there is no cost for the program, but please do call to register. That's an interesting topic to learn more about, I think, for a lot of people.
People should learn more about that.
Yep. Oh, and then to celebrate more food, National Bagel Day. Did you know there was a National Bagel Day? Well, there is.
There are so many national
no
days now.
I know.
I missed National Ugly Sweater Day this week, too.
I did, too. Anyway, to celebrate National Bagel Day on Tuesday, January 24th, 9 o'clock in the Senior Diner, there will be bagels, cream cheese, and juice. Please call to register.
In addition to the soup and sandwich lunches, on Thursdays at noon, there's also going to be the women's breakfast. And this month it will be January 11th at 8 o'clock. And the men's breakfast will be on January 18th at 8 o'clock. And there'll be a veterans breakfast on Wednesday, January 25th at 7:30, hosted by the Littleton Police Department. They seem to be doing that once a month.
The police department are hosting once a month
That's
a
really
veterans
cool.
breakfast. Yes.
And all of these are in the senior diner, and you are required to register.
And as promised at the beginning of the show, we said there were some interesting programs being offered in January. These have nothing to do with food or winter specifically, but anyway. One has a very unique title. It's called Growing Up Grubby. And a storyteller, Todd Goodwin, will relate stories from I assume from his life in the 50s and 60s. And that will be on Monday, January 9th at 2 p.m. in the multipurpose room, and call to register. And then another program. Do you remember the first car you drove?
I do.
Or owned?
I do.
Okay, well, come to the Vintage Car Slideshow. Maybe they'll have a picture of your car.
A 1955
They might.
Oldsmobile,
Of
blue
course.
and white.
Of course. John from Orphan Car Garage will highlight some automotive milestones and some of the most notorious, well, I don't know why he's calling it notorious vehicles, but that's what it said. And if you owned it, it's not notorious.
How do you know?
Well, that's true. I don't.
You don't.
Anyway.
It could have been used for a crime or something. Who knows?
Some of the most notorious vehicles of the past. Tuesday, January 10th at 2 o'clock in the multipurpose room, and call to register.
And one of the things we need to say is the craft class that we have every month will not take place in January.
That's true.
Because Sue, Kathy, and Anita need a rest. And it's going to be very cold, and a lot of you probably won't want to venture out in the cold and the snow. So we are going to take the month of January off, and we will be back in February with many new and exciting ideas.
Right.
And interested in viewing paintings and sculptures by the Concord Art members. Join a trip to the Concord Center for the Visual Arts on Wednesday, January 18th at 10 a.m. The van will leave the town hall at 9:30. And if you do not want to take the van, you can meet the group there. Call to register, space is limited on the van. And speaking of art ideas, I took a class this week on art collage. That's what it was called, right?
I think so.
Yeah, and it was held upstairs in room 233, and there were 9 of us, and the instructor gave us the opportunity to make collages of what we thought Littleton was in the past and the present, and how we felt about living in Littleton, and did we have any fun ideas that we wanted to share. And we had pictures and scrap paper, and it was interesting. One of the ladies did the town beach, and she put, you know, flowers and grass and green and made it look really pretty. And then in the corner, she put a picture of Elvis and said Elvis was there.
Was at the town beach?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, so that's how we...
I missed him.
Yes, you did. You missed him. And supposedly our poster of wonderful collage is going to be put up someplace in the town hall.
Okay.
But we did take a picture, and you can look on our show and see what we did.
Okay.
But it was fun, and it's just to give you an idea of the different programs that are offered, and when you go to them, you really appreciate what they're all about.
Well,
you know, you read about it and then you don't go, but if you read about it and you go, you really have a good time.
Right. A lot of them are informational, but even just as many are fun activities. And it's a good way to get out, even when it's cold, but to get out and be with other people and just chit-chat, too.
Yep. So that was a lot of fun. So when you see these programs and you think, oh, I don't know, just do it. And you'd be surprised at the fun you have just talking to people and being out and about. It's not always, you know, don't stay at home thinking, oh, I won't like that. Just go try it.
Go try it.
And it seems there's a lot going on at the Littleton Department of Elder and Human Services and the Council on Aging in January. What a great start to the new year. We certainly haven't covered all the programs and activities and events, so be sure to look at your broadcaster for a complete listing and for further information. And remember, you have to register on January 2nd. This time.
Third this year.
Third? Okay, because nobody will be there on the 1st and the 2nd.
Right.
But you want to call on January 3rd and make sure you register for all of these events.
Right. And we thank you for watching, and Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year to everybody.
Right.
And hope to see you soon.